Have you ever spent $850 to get slower? That's exactly what happened to me with these pedals. At first. But then... Greetings Romy, you're watching WromWrom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. The VRS Direct Force Pro pedals have been around for a while, but they keep getting recommended in sim racing communities for a reason. They're not the flashiest pedals on the market, but the build quality is immediately obvious the moment you open the box. Look at this thing. Stainless steel throughout, no sharp edges, clean finish, VRS logo on the side, which is a nice add. These are built to race for a long time, and they look like it. At $850 for the 3 pedal set or $650 for the 2 pedal set, they sit in kinda the same orbit as the Sim Racing Pro pedals, which we've also tested extensively. See the link up there. We'll come back to that comparison. These are load cell pedals and everything in them runs on springs rather than elastomers. The brake goes up to 65 kilograms of force, extendable to 140 using the red spring that comes in the box. The throttle runs to 8 kilograms, the clutch to 30. The clutch has a noticeable bite point, which is exactly what you want. Travel is adjustable on the brake and the pedal position and incline can be configured across all 3 pedals extensively. There's a lot you can dial in here, enough that VRS released a full setup video showing you how to fit them to your driving position, which we'll link in the description and up there. They connect to your PC via USB through a small translation box, with each pedal plugging into it via an RJ45 jack. Setup on my rig was straightforward, the system recognized them immediately and the VRS software handled calibration and curve configuration without any drama. The software is functional rather than fancy, but it does everything you need it to. It might profit from offering curve examples and maybe even the possibility to download curves from the community. One thing to know before you buy: VRS includes no base plate, no mounting bolts and no tools. These are not desk pedals, they need to be fixed to a rig and you'll need your own Allen keys and hardware to do it. Most competitors include at least some mounting hardware, so if you don't have a collection of bolts and tools already, keep that in mind. Changing the springs requires no tools at all though, which is a nice touch. Before we get into how they actually feel to drive, there's something worth understanding about how these pedals work, because it explains everything about the experience. Many high-end pedals use elastomers for the brake feel. VRS uses springs throughout. After speaking with drivers during a stint of over an hour, the consistent feedback is that spring-based pedals offer better consistency over long sessions. The reason is heat. Elastomers change feel as they warm up from repeated use, which means the pedal that felt right at lap 5 feels slightly different at lap 30. Springs don't have that problem. What you feel at the start is what you feel at the end. The trade-off is that finding the braking point is less intuitive, especially early on. The feel is more unforgiving and there's less of the progressive squish that elastomers give you. You have to learn what a bite is rather than feeling your way into it. And they're also slightly noisier than elastomer pedals, though in practice the loudest thing in my sessions was either my own cursing at my driving or at opponents deciding my door was a valid braking point. That and the gear paddles. Mostly my cursing though. It took me several sessions before I stopped fighting the brake and started working with it. Coming from the Simocube pedals I'd been on for a long time probably made the adjustment steeper, but even fresh, you should expect a period of mental recalibration before this click for you. It's not as immediately intuitive as, say, the Sim Racing Pro pedals. Those are easier to get used to straight away. The VRS pedals take some work to get right, but it's worth it, and once they clicked, the response was excellent and the lap times followed. We were hitting consistent 150-440s in our tests, very near to the SRPs. Before I get into how these compare to the Sim Racing Pro pedals, if you're finding this useful, a subscribe takes 2 seconds and means a lot. And if you want to help us keep making content like this and keep independent, consider becoming a patron. The Sim Racing Pro pedals work slightly better for me in terms of immediate on-track performance, and the learning curve was gentler. But a full Sim Racing Pro set without extras runs just over €1,000, which at current rates is over $1,100 That's a real difference over the $850 VRS asks for. If that difference matters to you, the VRS pedals are not a compromise. The build quality is exceptional, there's almost nothing you can't adjust on this, and once you've done the work to dial them in and learn the feel, they perform at the level you'd expect from pedals in this price range. These are pedals built to last, built to take punishment, and built to be set up exactly the way you want them. If you're willing to put up the setup time, learn the brake feel over a few sessions, and you have a rig to mount them to, these are excellent pedals for the price. If you want to plug in and be fast immediately with minimal fuss, they might frustrate you early on, and the Sim Racing Pro pedals might suit you better despite the higher price. What I'm saying is, these pedals will reward you if you put in the work. If you decide to go for them, the affiliate link is in the description.